Member countries of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area have met to discuss specific issues related to the scope of application of the competition protocol. Their discussion also looked at the possible overlapping jurisdiction with the competition authorities and how they'll be addressed with a view to finalize the negotiations on the competition protocol. Secretary General Mene says they're looking at creating protocol that's responsive to Africa's needs like consumer protection. He says they have to make sure that the AfCFTA takes into account the different regions when it comes to competition policy. Mene says they have support from the African Development Bank, Afreximbank and African Union member states to arrange for capacity building.
There were a number of heads of competition authorities who said that there are some countries that either do not have competition authorities or they have them and they are at very early stages. They need support, they need capacity building, and we stand ready to provide that support within our mandate as the AfCFTA Secretariat. And in fact, we already have made budget provision for that capacity building support to countries that may need it, because we think that it's very, very important that as part of Africa's economic integration objective, that we have a competition policy framework that will respond to the needs of Africans. For example, the impact of cross-border cartels on individual consumers. This is one of the issues that the protocol has to respond to, because it has a very, very negative impact potentially on consumers such as you and I. So that is why this meeting was so important to help us to move much faster.
Outgoing Competition Commissioner Thembinkosi Bonakele says in the quest of building protocol, it's important to build institutions and expertise and then set priorities.
In the earlier days here, we set a priority of enforcing aggressively against cartel. We uncovered quite a lot of them. But we then also moved to say we also are interested in opening up markets to greater participation, to more inclusivity. And this is the agenda we are dealing with now. So I think that it's setting up institutions, building expertise, and setting priorities right.
Mene says the AfCFTA has made notable progress since its establishment.
We have established the legal foundation for implementation of the AfCFTA for commercially meaningful trade. We have certificates of origin. We have an e-tariff book, and these things these are the aspects of the agreement that enable trade to happen. We are expecting governments to introduce customs legislation in their countries so that the AfCFTA goods that are coming in or out are enabled legally in each jurisdiction. We have about 8 countries that have done that already. Ghana, Egypt, Kenya, Rwanda are some of the countries that, using all of these instruments that we have introduced to enable trade, that are ready for commercially meaningful trade under the AfCFTA.
The AfCFTA deal creates a continent-wide market that will embrace 55 African countries with 1.3 billion people. When enforced, it will have a combined GDP of $3.4 trillion. Diabo Seto, SABC News, Johannesburg.